keeping technical skills sharp these days with AI and automation just accelerating like mad. It feels like a constant battle, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge challenge.
And I figure for our listeners, folks who really want to get knowledge down pat quickly and thoroughly, that challenge probably feels, well, pretty real.
Definitely. The ground is always shifting under our feet, skill-wise. You need ways to learn fast and learn effectively.
Which brings us neatly to what we're diving into today. EON Reality just launched what they're calling the world's first Spatial AI TVET College.
Right. TVET, Technical and Vocational Education and Training.
Exactly. And this could be maybe a kind of shortcut to understanding a really big shift in how we teach hands-on technical skills.
It's definitely positioned that way. Not just a small tweak, but potentially a whole new model. So our mission today really is to unpack what this thing is.
Okay.
Why EON thinks it's so important and what it might mean down the road for skills. We're sticking close to their announcement for this.
Good plan. So let's start with the fundamentals, the why. What's the actual problem EON is trying to fix here?
Well, the core problem they highlight is this growing mismatch, a gap between traditional vocational training, a lot of which was designed for the industrial age and the actual demands of today's AI-driven economy. They call it a dangerous misalignment.
Danger, that's strong language. Why dangerous?
Well, think about it. Industries have been totally transformed by tech, right? AI, automation, everywhere.
Yeah.
But the way we train people for jobs in those industries, it hasn't really kept up. It's lagged behind.
Okay, I see. So we're using old maps for a new world, basically.
Pretty much. And this vocational transformation gap, as they term it, is a serious hurdle. They even call it an existential challenge.
Wow.
Both for learners trying to get relevant skills and for the schools and colleges trying to provide them.
So it's not just about updating a few course modules then. It sounds like they're pushing for something much bigger.
Exactly. They're stressing the need to build what they call distinctively human technical capabilities. Skills that aren't easily automated, focusing more on how people can work with AI systems.
Right. Collaboration, not just operating.
Precisely. Dan Lajerskar, EON's chairman, basically said technical education is at a critical crossroads.
Yeah.
And this Spatial AI College isn't just an upgrade. He called it a complete reinvention.
A complete reinvention. Okay. So we get the why, this big gap, and the need for change. Let's get into the what. What actually is this Spatial AI TVET College? What are its key features?
They describe it as a comprehensive spatial AI ecosystem. And the key word there is comprehensive.
Meaning
It's not just like one tool or a pilot project. It's meant to be a whole integrated system for transforming technical training. And its scope is massive. They're talking all technical fields, manufacturing, healthcare, construction, IT are the big ones they mentioned, plus all skill levels and designed to align with global industry standards.
Okay, that's ambitious. What's the tech powering it? What's the approach?
So the heart of it is the EON NXR platform. Think of it as the operating system for this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's built to be secure, scalable for big organizations,
Right.
and importantly, accessible. You can use it on smartphones, tablets, computers, but also, VR and AR headsets for that deeper immersion.
Okay, so multi-device. What about the spatial AI part?
Yeah, that's key. They say spatial AI powers intelligent personalization. So the learning adapts to you.
How does that work, roughly?
Well, spatial AI basically means AI that understands and interacts with 3D digital spaces and objects, kind of like how we do in the real world. This allows the system to tailor content and guidance within these virtual learning environments.
Okay, adaptive learning in 3D space. That sounds potentially much better than one size fits all.
Exactly. And here's something really intriguing. They talk about revolutionary text-to-XR capabilities.
Text to XR.
Yeah, imagine taking like an old textbook or a standard training manual and using AI to quickly convert that text into an interactive 3D experience, a simulation or a model you can explore.
Whoa. So educators could basically generate this complex content much more easily.
That seems to be the idea. It could really lower the barrier to creating effective, immersive training materials, a potential game changer for scaling this stuff up, right?
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so that's the tech. What about the actual learning process for a student? How's it structured?
They use a three-stage approach: learn, train, perform.
Learn, train, perform.
Okay. The learn stage is all about getting the basic knowledge down faster, using spatial visualization, messing around with 3D models, and engaging multiple senses. The idea is quicker, deeper understanding.
Right.
Then comes train. This is where you practice skills. You experiment in safe virtual environments, tackle challenges that get progressively harder, and get instant feedback. No real-world risks.
Makes sense for things like complex machinery or medical procedures.
Exactly. And finally, perform. This is about applying what you've learned. Project-based work, solving problems collaboratively with others in virtual spaces, and assessments that mimic real job tasks.
Learn the theory, practice the skill, apply it in context. Sounds logical. What are all the pieces that make up this whole platform? You mentioned EON XR.
Right, so there's the core EON XR platform.
Right.
Then EON AI Ready, that's the AI content creation tool, the text to XR part.
Okay.
There's also EON AI Mentor. They call them Brainies. These are like 247 personalized AI tutors for guidance.
Always on support.
Yeah. For creating custom applications without coding, there's EON Vibe Coder. Then a distribution channel, the EON Global Marketplace, which they say reaches over 42 million users in 80-plus countries.
Wow, that's a huge reach.
It is. And finally, the EON Career Compass and Entrepreneur Guide, which is meant to connect the training directly to job opportunities or starting a business.
So it really tries to cover the whole journey from learning to earning, potentially.
That's the vision, yeah.
Let's dig a bit more into the how, immersive learning. What does that actually feel like for a student using this?
It's about making learning active, not passive. So, spatial visualization. Instead of a flat diagram of an engine, you're manipulating a 3D model of it, taking it apart virtually.
Right.
Or virtual workplace training. Practicing, say, a dangerous safety procedure on a virtual oil rig without any danger.
Okay.
AI-guided learning means the system notices where you're struggling and gives you hints, or makes things a bit harder if you're cruising. It's like having a digital tutor adapting just for you.
Personalized pacing.
Exactly. Collaborative problem-solving lets you team up with classmates inside a shared virtual environment to tackle a realistic technical problem together.
Building teamwork skills, too.
Definitely. And the whole thing is designed to build those future skills.
Yeah.
AI literacy, innovation, thinking about whole systems, and specifically how humans and AI work together effectively.
It really paints a picture of learning by doing, just in a virtual space.
That's the core idea. Now, they also mentioned a phased implementation approach. How's that rolling out?
Yeah, what's the timeline look like? Is this happening now?
So they outlined 3 phases. Phase 1, foundation, is happening now, basically. A few months to set up innovation centers, build teams, create initial demos.
Yeah.
Phase 2, expansion, is maybe the next 6 months, rolling it out more broadly in their network, ramping up content creation, training instructors.
Getting it established.
Right. And phase 3, global leadership, is looking further out, maybe 10 to 18 months. That's about international deployment, creating really specialized premium content, and even publishing research on how well it works.
So it's a multi-stage plan with pretty significant global ambitions.
So, yeah.
Okay, we've covered the why, the what, the how. Let's boil it down for our listeners. What are the key benefits here, especially if you're someone thinking about your skills, your career?
From the learner's point of view, EON claims some big advantages. First, accelerated skill acquisition. They actually suggest learning technical stuff up to 4 times faster.
4 times. Wow.
And retaining it better compared to old methods. Plus, you'd be developing future-ready technical skills, the kind employers are starting to look for in this AI era.
More marketable skills.
Hopefully, yes. The personalized learning pathways mean it should be more efficient because it's tailored to you.
Right.
The immersive experiences themselves are a benefit, making complex things easier to grasp and remember. And crucially, that career compass piece aims to create clear links between the training and actual job openings or career paths.
So potentially a faster, more relevant, more engaging way to learn with a connection to employment.
That's the promise.
They gave some specific examples too, right, across those different industries. Can you maybe bring a few of those to life?
Sure. So in manufacturing, you might interact with a whole digital twin of a factory floor.
Okay.
Or simulate maintaining complex robots safely, or practice quality control in a virtual lab, even work alongside virtual AI colleagues on an assembly line.
What about healthcare?
In healthcare, think exploring detailed 3D anatomy, practicing surgery simulations without risk, learning to use complex scanners or monitors virtually, or running through emergency response drills.
Very practical. Construction.
For construction, you could walk through a complex building information model, a BIM model before it's built, do safety training on a virtual construction site, simulate operating cranes or excavators.
Safer training for dangerous jobs.
Exactly. Or get guided step-by-step instructions for installing complex systems and for information technology.
Yeah.
visualizing abstract things like network traffic flow in 3D, running through cybersecurity attack scenarios, virtually taking apart and reassembling servers, or modeling how different software systems connect.
Those examples really help make it concrete. It's clearly way beyond just reading a manual.
Definitely. It's active, it's experiential, trying to replicate that hands-on feel in a scalable, safe way.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the main takeaway? What's the big picture significance of EON launching this Spatial AI TVET College?
I think the key message from EON is that this isn't just a minor step. They're calling it a transformative leap forward.
A leap, not a step.
Right. For technical and vocational training systems globally, which, let's face it, are under huge pressure to adapt to AI and automation.
True.
Their argument is that this integrated platform combining immersive tech like VR with adaptive AI offers a genuinely new way to do vocational training. They even suggest that education leaders who adopt this kind of approach could become the definitive pioneers shaping the future of skills.
So it's presented as a potential paradigm shift, really, for how we prepare people for technical jobs in an AI world.
Exactly. Moving beyond the old industrial model to something built for the digital AI-driven future.
That definitely gives us a lot to chew on. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, how technologies like spatial AI might change not just vocational training, but maybe all kinds of learning and professional development soon.
A big question.
What could that mean for your own learning path or for the workforce of tomorrow? Something to ponder, for sure. Thanks for exploring this with us.